That's what we should. Everybody jump on Amazon, look for Nathan Casey puzzles, and we'll bring those in here. So, all right. Do you guys remember this? Yeah. Book of Delights. We should do a Book of Sorrows one. Book of Miseries, terrible things about life. Yeah.
Leal and I are still doing Daily Delights.
Are you doing? Oh, nice. I had one person text me one. I enjoyed that. I have no idea where I left off. All right, I'm going to give a few of them, but the idea is in future classes we're gonna do them together. You're gonna have to start naming some. All right. So if you're not familiar with the Book of Delights, you remember you write down like simple things in life that are really enjoyable. Like I put a puzzle piece in with my own picture on it. That'll be one of them. And some of these I don't remember where I left off. I didn't make notes on it. Okay. Number 54. The satisfying click a switch on a lamp makes when you turn it. That, and it's just like click.
When it's like two, it's like click, click.
Click, click. Unless they're kind of gummy, like I don't like those. Where it's just like, it's just not turning right. But
Have you seen like the floor stomp on lightning? It's like a thing on the floor.
when you hear that click sound, that's good. That's good if you drive the old school vehicles where your high beams are on the floor. Do you have any of those on the left side? That's a nice sound. That's a good feeling. Ooh, look at this, number 55, putting in the last piece of a puzzle. What I should do, I'm going to go take my picture out of that puzzle, and then that's going to be the last piece that goes in.
Picture with your face on it.
Yeah. I will tell you, I've been trying to justify it morally, taking that piece home with me.
Well, you should, because then a piece of us will always be.
Oh, there you go. But a piece of me will never be with you. So, okay. Ooh, going outside on a cold winter's day and exhaling just to see your breath cloud. He's like, I like doing that. The belly laugh of a 1-year-old.
Yes.
Like it is not possible to hear a 1-year-old laugh like that and not smile, unless you must not have a soul. It's just. Number 62, when you see a friend you haven't seen in ages and you pick up like you'd never been apart. That's a good one. I like that one. Okay. This one, compliments here. That little extra something, a spoonful of peanut butter adds to a cup of hot chocolate.
What?
Have you not done this yet? Oh, yeah. Just when you pour your hot chocolate, grab a spoonful of peanut butter. Bridget's got one sitting there. Buy it. There. It's from Yakutat, so it's laced with orca blood. But it's...
Whole spoonful of peanut butter?
Yeah, a whole spoon. And I did kind of like a medium one last time, and it wasn't enough. You got to go big, but then don't drink the bottom third, because it's all peanut butter chunks. So there you go. All right, we're gonna hit that next time though. But I'm gonna give you prompts and think through. And Grace, you've already been doing them. You're gonna have some to bring, so that'll be good. Trying to think of other things here. Oh, one thing. I mean, we'll let them plow the roads. But if anybody's heading to town tomorrow, I could use a trip to the store. I'd put that one out there. So there. All right. Sounds like Daniel's going. Are you going to get more of your puzzles? There. Oh, okay. Nathan Casey puzzles. Well, I'm going on a Nathan Casey puzzle run. If anybody wants to join me there. So anyway, all right. So here's what we got coming today. I'm really excited about this one. We're doing a Zoom call at 10 a.m. and it's with a ministry called Grace Collective. These guys, I told you a little bit about them yesterday, but we're getting everybody I wanted. I was like, it'd be really cool if Amanda, and Amanda's like, yeah, I'm going to be there. And it'd be cool if Devin, and Devin's like, I'm going to be there too. And it'd be really cool if you got Satara. And they're like, hey, Satara's going to be there too. So we're getting all three of my favorites. there. But what this group does is they help women get out of human trafficking and help them rebuild a life. And they help a lot. And so a lot of these women have been trafficked. A lot of these women have. Do you know what I mean by trafficked? Is that get clear? Okay. And then a lot of these women are coming out of prison. There's like I go and volunteer at this group once a month, and they've got this whole. It's a really cool thing. These women are unemployable. I mean, basically unemployable. Like the one woman, I'm sitting in this kitchen. We're cutting up sausage things for some crab feed thing or whatever that was going to be going on the next day, and she has 21 felonies. Like, if you're running a small business, are you hiring her? She has like I forget. I think she had like 3 stints in prison. 21 felonies. Are you hiring her? You're not hiring her. You're trying to run your business. You're trying to take care of your family. Like you can't take risks like that. So what's this woman supposed to do? Right? That's where she finds herself, and that's where like these women are here. They find themselves in places similar to that, where for a lot of these women, their only option is to sell their bodies, and it's or to get into dealing with drugs, that kind of stuff. Like that's what they have available to them. And Amanda and Devin said, "I don't accept this." You know, like this whole question we've been asking of like, what should the church's response to this be? It's like, well, when you got a group of women who are facing that, here's what Devin and Amanda believed their response should be, is we should create a reality for them that's other than the one they've been given. And so they create jobs for these women. They have a catering business. They have a pasta making business. They have they're actually getting several other businesses going, and they employ these women. They have 19 women they employ, and then they turn around and they like do like job training with them, and then things like none of the women coming in have like driver's license, because either they never got one or they lost it in all the legal stuff that went on. So they teach the women how to drive, or help them go through the process of getting their driver's license. Some of these women have never used a computer before, which is like, how can it be 2020, well, 6 now, and you've never used a computer before? And they train them how to do that. They're training them how to use AI now. I'm getting certified in some of those things for job training, and they keep them in the program until they are able to get a job that pays a living wage. And when they graduate, I don't know if it's every graduate, but I think it's every graduate. One of the things that comes with the graduation package is they give the women a good car that runs really well. And it was so cool. I got to meet one woman. She was arrested. Get this. She was arrested 120 times. 120 times. When she graduated from the program, you know who showed up at graduation? The chief of police and the mayor. Because the chief of police, she knew her. He knew her pretty well by then. You know, like we've met a few times, and they were there to celebrate what was done. And she is now employed full time. She works for the county, and her job is she helps women who are homeless find or not just women, but people who are homeless find places to live. And she works full time, and it pays a living wage. And it was so cool sitting in the room with her. Sharing this. Anyway, this is what Grace Collective does. So Amanda was the founder of it. Devin's her husband. He was pastoring a church, but then after she got that going, he jumped in, and now he's working with it too. And then Satira is one of the women who graduated from the program, and I believe she's going to tell her story, and it's a cool story. And I won't wreck it by telling it for her, but it's a cool story of like how God can step into a woman whose life is just falling apart. And the deck was stacked against her, but turns out God can redeem even the hardest lives, right? Right? I mean, if he can raise people if he can come back from the dead, is there anything that we're like, well, I mean, you can come back from the dead, that was pretty cool, but have you seen this problem? Like, I'm not sure you can handle that one there. And so anyway, so that's at 10 o'clock. We're going to be doing that there. So we'll probably take a break at like 9, probably like a 10-minute break at like 9:45. And then that'll give me a chance to get all the technology up and running. And then if we could be back at 9:55 so that we're in place when the Zoom call starts, that would be superb. All right, so we're going to do that. That's 10. We're going to kind of review homework this first hour and the Cabrini movie. And then we're going to if we have time, we'll get to James 1:27, and then after, just before lunch, we're going to go over a Hebrew concept in the Bible that I think you're going to like. All right, so let's start with this. Well, let's go with a simple one before we get to Cabrini. The observations on the text, that homework assignment. There, one of you already texted me your 50 observations. Your first one, man. Gold star for you. There. So, yeah, not the first time Spokane has beat everybody in the room, is it?
I didn't text you, for the record.
Where was the other?
Oh, the other Nathan.
I don't write 50, that sounds like, yeah.
Well, now don't I feel dumb?
I'm more of a
Hey, we took
10-minute,
ours.
7-minute timer and not get 10.
All right. Well, for the record, Spokane does win sometimes.
No, they don't.
But how can we beat Puzzle Casey? Nobody's beating that. That's why he's on a puzzle. He texts his assignments in fast. Yeah.
But when did he turn his in? Because James and I finished ours before lunch.
Did you turn it in?
Yeah, I was just saying first turned in. I got it turned in this morning. Sorry, wrong Nathan.
That's how balance works, Grace.
Yeah. All right. Anything standing out to you guys from that? Okay, I'm going to start with the Ezekiel 16 one, since that was yesterday's. What stood out to you guys from that passage? Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, like, there was a footnote in my Bible that was like, God chose, well, first of all, like, how not caring for the needy was a sin. Like, I don't really, like, right away think about it that way. But then, like, how God chose to, through Ezekiel, like, point that one out instead of all the other sin that Sodom was doing, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, what's the sin that we associate with Sodom and Gomorrah?
Homosexuality.
There you go.
Oh, okay, I was thinking
Yeah, I mean, homosexuality.
That's why.
I mean, we call it sodomy, right? Like it's called sodomy because of that. But Ezekiel, when he's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, he didn't even mention it. You know, like, and so that's where, like, I don't want to get like preachy or judgmental or anything on this here, but you kind of like, I've heard plenty of churches share their opinion on homosexuality. I haven't heard any of them share about not helping the poor and needy. It's like, whew, I think Ezekiel has some words for us there. All right, what else stands out to you?
They were very prosperous people, right? They not only were they not helping the poor and needy, but they had like way more than they needed as well. So I take it a lot like a modern parallel I draw. This is we throw a lot of stuff away, right? And I'd imagine they're probably doing the same when they could be helping those people.
Yeah, we can kind of relate to that prosperity side of things, can't we? I'm guessing if we went into everybody's closet, you've got piles of clothes that you haven't worn in a long time. Right? I'm assuming everybody. That's one of the things I was going through here 2 Sundays ago. So I was in the hospital with my son. He was getting his gallbladder taken out. That was kind of a surprise. And then he's getting ready to come home Sunday. I'm at the hospital with him. My wife texts me. He's like, hey, just, I stayed the night with him at the hospital. Just, the furnace went out last night. And I was like, at first I was like, are you serious? First is surgery, now my furnace goes out. And then it just kind of hit me. It was like, what's kind of nice? It's kind of nice to have a furnace that can go out. I got a bunch of friends that are sleeping in tents and campers and that have no electricity. They'd love to have a furnace go out. I was like, I'm doing okay. I'm pretty prosperous. Yeah. Okay. What else hit you? Yeah.
I wrote that God saw all of their sin, even the things that were more minor. Everything was in his watch, and he was monitoring it.
Okay. Yeah. All right, yeah.
I saw that there was cause and effect, like in those 2 verses, the people committed an abomination before God, therefore he removed them. Or that's how.
Okay. And the cause was they didn't help the poor and the needy. We're going to get into a passage this afternoon, too, that's going to build on that. Yeah. Yeah. Good.
It's interesting that their sin was because of their pride.
Okay.
It's like,
Run with that a little bit.
well, it's like saying that they were prideful and so they committed sin. It's like it's a pride and ignoring others, like ignoring others is a form of pride. That was what made their like what they did wrong. That they weren't caring about others. It was just themselves. Seeing themselves as so valuable, they don't need to consider others.
What do you make of God's heart here? Anybody that stand out to anybody? Who it was we see God loving, valuing? Yeah. To what extent do we see his heart for the poor and needy?
Everything you do to the least of his brethren, you also do to him, good and bad.
Yeah. Yeah, his concern for the poor and needy is so great that if we are not good to them, God looks at us like he has a response to us. Like you guys are neglecting these people that I care for. And that's a big deal to me. Yeah. That's one of the things I hope we get to by the end of this class. I hope by the end of the week, our hearts are in tune to love the people God loves and to have the same type of affection for people that our God has towards the people there. So, okay, good. All right. Well, if you haven't already started, jump on to Isaiah 58, 6 and 7. I only put 2 verses from that. I will say this, Isaiah 58, easily top 5 chapters in the Bible for me. Easily. I love that chapter. I love the God I see on display there, but there. All right. Or if you're like Puzzle Casey over there, he did the 50 observations on that. I didn't even read them. I haven't read them yet. I will, but did you do the Exodus 16? Or Ezekiel 16? You did that one? Okay. All right. Anybody else done? Is anybody else doing 50 on a text? Or are you guys, everybody else doing 10?
Like the 7-minute?
Yeah, the 7-minute thing. Yeah. Okay, all right, that's cool. Either one's good. The other thing, I will put this out there. When you're doing your quiet times, I don't know if I like mixing my quiet times up. Part of my ADHD kicks in, and if I do the same thing every day for the rest of my life, I just start to, I just want to start clawing my eyes out. And I like mixing things up. And this is a really great quiet time practice. Grab a verse and just keep writing observations. And 50 sounds like a lot. All right, how hard was 50? Moderately? But how long did it take you? Ballpark, give me, we're talking like 30 minutes, 2 hours.
Well, like 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. So it was hard, but 30 minutes. It's not that hard. And if you break it up over a course of days too, if you do like 15 today, 20 tomorrow, it's...
And do you kind of like have a break between it?
The scripture came to us from the infinite mind of God. It's not too difficult to conclude that there's more depth to the text than what we necessarily see when at first glance. So it's a cool quiet time practice. All right. Cabrini. I want to review that movie. We're going to start with general impressions, and then we're going to start working our way through specific. First of all, what'd you think?
Phenomenal. I loved it so much.
Grace loved it. Okay. What'd you love about it?
So this whole page is what I loved about it. And
Okay.
I can pick a few.
Pick just, or don't start reading them. Don't start reading them without looking. One big general concept.
I love that she suffered with them, and that scene when the little boy died, she cried so hard. And it reminded me of when Jesus cried for Lazarus. He suffered with those people, and it was so genuine, and her heart was so beautiful. It just cared so deeply, and nothing could stop her. She was like a force of nature. She didn't care about what anyone told her with limitations. She's like, no, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a hospital. Don't stop me. I'm gonna keep going.
Keep
It
going.
was great.
That was good. And we'll get to those eventually, I'm sure. But I like general impressions. All right, let's go to other general impressions. What stood out to you about?
Strong faith theme to the movie, right? When you have like lots of reasons to be hopeless and to give up, right? But having faith in our God in these times is kind of. She did it. She
Yeah.
did it. She did it for sure.
Lots of faith.
I would have given up sooner, I guess. Like to think I would have, but I know me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Let's bring out you guys. What do you guys think? Do we have a great reason for faith, or we got decent reason for faith? Right?
The best reason for faith.
Ooh, not just great reason, the best reason. Why do we have the best reason for faith?
Any story of the Bible is pretty profound.
Okay.
Sum them up all together, it's like, think about what God did for the Israelites in Egypt, crossing the river. Pretty much any story is sufficient to make you have faith.
Ooh, that's good.
Not only can God do it, but he has done it.
He has done it. Not just can, he has. Wow. Connect this to the nature of God. Is there anything about God's nature that indicate we have great reason for faith? Give me something. His faithfulness. Yeah, right?
His omnipotence comes with rested assurance.
All power.
His word is final.
He always opens new doors when one shuts.
Okay. He's authority. He has the power to open doors at his whim.
And I guess also, like, in the movie, there was a little bit of political maneuvering from the, like, priests and stuff. Like, God doesn't need to do that. He can just say, if he wants it done, he can make it happen. He doesn't need to go, well, there'll be consequences here, and you really need to get those sorted out first, and you can't do that. It's like, he can just do it.
Yeah. Was that Daniel 4:35? I think it's Daniel 4:35. All the inhabitants of the earth are regarded as nothing. Oh man. I had to memorize this in high school. This is one of my teacher's favorite verses. He made us memorize it. I'm pulling a 1994 memory right now, so let's see if I can get it. All the inhabitants of the earth are regarded as nothing. God, it's like God does as he pleases. This isn't a quote, but it's like no one can hold back his hand. No one can hold back his hand. All right, give it to me.
All the inhabitants of the earth are accounted as nothing, and he does according to his will among the host of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand or say to him, what have you done?
Yeah. All right, you guys gotten in the debate on, 100 men or one gorilla? You guys gotten into that?
Yeah.
Who wins?
100 men.
I win by myself.
Who wins?
Taking on the 100 men and the gorilla.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna count the men freaking out because they're dying.
Anyway, which by the correct answer to that, it's no contest, the gorilla wins. That's my opinion. But I don't think he has any trouble at all.
Well, yeah, like, are we talking, are they in nature, or are they in
This is where it gets political.
This where now we get all the exceptions on this here. But anyway, regardless if it's like, all right, you get 10 million men versus God. It's not even a conversation.
What if the men,
Just him making us survive.
what if the men had weapons?
Yeah, give them arm them all with nuclear bombs. 10 million men versus God.
10 million and one.
It's not even close. Like it's laughable to have the conversation. And so like you look at it, it's like, so why on earth do we move through life afraid? What are you afraid of? That God says, I'm for you. And if God is for you, who could be against you? Right? Was it, oh my word, Romans. The, oh hell, where is your victory? Oh death, where is your sting? Like, I mean, you guys know, like, the thing that we're all been, like, every human's grappled with since the beginning of, well, since Eden, sin and death. Jesus took care of both of them in a weekend. A weekend. Friday, he's crucified. Sin's done. It's dealt with. It's powerless now. Death, he was dead and then he got better. Right? That stone was rolled away. What are you afraid of? What am I afraid of? Like, and this talk, we're talking about like the way you move through your life, or somebody like a ministry like Cabrini. Is like she strove through with great faith because she had the best reason to believe. Which, by the way, we have that same best reason. All right. Other general impressions about Cabrini.
The lung condition kind of reminds me of how when a sheep is kind of straying from the flock, a shepherd will break its leg right to keep it by. Now, sometimes I believe God gives us conditions or ailments to put us where he wants us. For a matter of fact, that lung condition could have been something very big to drive her to get so much done so fast.
Could be.
And not only that, but throughout all of it, she lived to a very old age for what she had.
She did pretty good for age, didn't she? Yeah.
Didn't they give her a prognosis of 2 to 5 years, and she lived to 67?
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you guys catch what caused the lung condition? I don't know if that was clear in the
Was
movie.
that tuberculosis or something?
She almost drowned.
I was confused.
That when it kept shooting that little girl in the water,
Yeah.
she was that little girl. She almost drowned, and then there was that scene where there was a girl laying in the bed, and the doctor tells her mom, "You should just get used to the fact she's going to spend the rest of her life in bed." That was Cabrini as a child.
So I was a little confused. What was the exact condition caused by the drowning? Did it just damage her lungs so severely? Or did she get sick after being in that cold water for so long?
I'm not sure what caused it.
Tuberculosis, which said, which was basically all they said when someone had lung condition. They always said it was tuberculosis.
So specific.
Okay. Sorry, that was Devin just texting. Hey, I don't have the Zoom link. So anyway, there we go. Okay. Let's start talking through. Okay, who were some of the people that stood out to you that they were caring for in the story?
First little boy who was next to the bigger one. I don't remember.
Was it his name Paulo? Paulo and Enzo. Okay, talk about us. What stood out to you about Paulo?
It's funny how he first started off just wanting the food. And then he brought his other friend with him. And then eventually they came to be in a relationship with them, and then he started staying with him.
Okay, let's think through this from a ministerial standpoint. I didn't just show you Cabrini just because I wanted you to see a cool story. Think through. Okay, what was it? What got Paulo was the cristadas, which I've never had a cristada. I don't even know what it is.
But they're good,
Are they?
according to
According to him, yeah. What do you make of the crustada?
Wait, mine's not about the Christina.
Oh, okay. We'll get to yours thing then. What do you make of the crustada? Think of it from a ministry leader perspective.
You're having a meal with somebody you don't know, and now you're getting to know them.
Yeah, boy, that's big, isn't it? Food is like one of the best ways to minister. You read through the Gospels. Somebody pointed this out to me. This was cool. If you read through the Gospels, after they did, I'm like, oh my word, that's true. Jesus was almost always either on his way to a meal, at a meal, or coming back from one. Food. And I don't know somebody Google what a crustada is.
Did you ask
Um,
Sarah to make one?
Maybe they're great. Okay? Yeah. Okay? What else stood out to you about Paulo's story? Yeah.
So with Paulo and Benzo, what stood out to me was how she showed unconditional love. And even when they did things that were not acceptable behavior-wise, she just continuously guided them towards the light, towards Jesus. Like, when Paulo shot that gang, what do you call it, she could have easily just cast him out of the house and just let him be on his own devices. But she was tender and gentle, and she just kept giving him options to be better. And I don't know, I just loved seeing like all the other orphans surrounding him when he was making his positive choice and like a celebration with him.
Yeah. Yeah. And you start looking at like Paulo's story. Who did he have? Did you guys catch he was the little boy that began the movie?
His mom died.
He was the one pushing his mom in the wagon. There.
A sweet shortcut crust pastry called pasta flora, typically filled with jam, fruit, Nutella, or custard.
Or sometimes ricotta.
Now that really points to.
Hey, I'm in.
Is that dessert?
I'm in. Got okay, but okay, you get so we learn about Paulo's family. What did we learn about him? What, you remember what his dad?
He shot suicide.
His dad committed suicide. Mom died of, I guess I didn't catch what she died of, but some illness, and then also neglect because she was Italian, just pure racism. You may not know this about America, but America hasn't always looked super kindly at people who weren't exactly like the people in power. And in that instance, it was Italians. To my knowledge, that stuff's not going on anymore with Italians in America. But it's not like America's ever like, hey, man, we sure got everything right now. But anyway, that's another thing. But okay, so mom's dead, and then who else was in his life looking out for him?
Was it older brother? Or was it a friend?
It was a friend. Enzo was a friend. Did you guys catch when Enzo and Paulo became friends?
Was it at the tunnel?
Right before, okay? Right? Enzo's sitting, or Paulo's sitting in that little hut, or like makeshift, what, I don't even know what you call it, little structure. He's like all squatted down on the ground, and Enzo comes up, waves to him, like, come on. And then he sits there for a minute, then he jumps up, grabs his bag, and goes, do you guys know what that hole was? What was the hole they were crawling down into?
Was it the sewer or was it just the undercity?
It was a sewer. These kids lived in the sewer. Think about that for a moment. And then did you see them wading? You know what kind of stuff you wade through in a sewer? Imagine calling that home. All right, I bring you back to the question that we're going to ask all week. What's the church's right response to that? You see a kid like Enzo. He's an orphan. Dad died from suicide. Mom died from disease. Enzo, the closest thing he has to a caretaker, he dies in an explosion. What's the church supposed to look like there? Yeah. It looks like Cabrini, doesn't it? You know? It's good. Okay. Other people that you saw Cabrini with. Okay, let's go. You got a different person? Vittoria. That's a good one. All right, let's talk Vittoria. What stood out to you about Vittoria and her story?
So even when she was in a crisis-like situation, so when she was still in prostitution, we still see the goodness in her heart. She went above and beyond to help the nuns, even at the expense of her own physical health. She got beat after that, and she knew she would. And it gave hints, I feel like, that she knew she was going to get beat, and she didn't tell Caprini that. She didn't say a word. She just took it, and she did what she thought was right. And she helped Caprini find the other orphans in the sewer. We just keep seeing like these good attributes about her, and I love that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you get involved in this type of ministry, the longer you do it, the more you'll realize how much they're your equals. They're your sisters or your brothers. They just happen to have had a really terrible set of circumstances in their life. You got another one, Grace?
I do.
Are we still on Vittoria?
Yes.
I want to stay on her for a while. Okay.
Okay, so like another thing that I love about how Caprini acted towards Vittoria, she never came with malice or judgment or any superiority. She met her as an equal.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. Talk about this from Vittoria's perspective. What do you think it was like for her to meet Cabrini? Yeah.
One thing that stood out, and it fits into your question, is that Victoria seemed to have a very low self-worth. And Cabrini was one to show her true value. And that, I think, is the most important for someone that's coming out of a situation like that. They could be out of it, but live all their lives still thinking that they're a piece of trash. And the way that she communicated to her, saying we're both survivors, we both got this, we both have had that was awesome, and that's important too.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, people don't usually want to be associated with those kind of situations. We all have dirt in our lives, but nobody wants to talk about it, right? Be like, oh, you're a survivor, you're strong, you'll get through this. Nobody wants to lower themselves down to that level and be like, I've been where you're at, and we'll get through this together. Because that's uncomfortable. And that change, we want to put this image about ourselves that we're better now. And that takes admitting that you were bad in the first place. It's humility.
Yeah. All right, did you have some favorite moments with Vittoria? Yeah.
Okay, my favorite moment with Victoria is when she was working to get the wells dug, and she just carried that on for Cabrini because she knew how valuable it was to the orphanage and to Cabrini specifically, and she got the well dug, and she finally found the water, and she just comes in with like this heap
Like
of
the heap of mud,
money, just, like,
yep.
on the table next to the money, and then just like walking on each
I
other's
thought that was
faces.
manure at the first
Yeah.
second.
What is happening? Yeah, it's mud.
Just seeing that pure joy and that airy interaction, it's not serious, they're just so brimming with joy.
Yeah, that's good. All right. All right, how about anybody catch the three little girls? Did that grab anyone's attention? In the sewer. It was the first kids that we see in the movie. Or, well, not except Apollo, but when they get to New York. Remember Cabrini sees those three girls? That was her first question to Vittoria. Those three girls, did you see them? Can you help me find those three girls? And she walked down into the sewers and found them. And then did you see what she did with them? Right? Brought them to the house. They got a bath. They got food. And one of my favorite moments in the whole movie is Cabrini's brushing that little girl's hair. And they look at each other, touch foreheads, and just a little girl just starts beaming with happiness. What do you think about, like, that little girl? How many times in her life did she have a moment like that? This might have been the first. You know, and Cabrini got to be the hands and feet in Jesus in this moment. You know, she got to experience safety, this little girl. Acceptance, wanted love, like somebody actually cares for me. You know, I just think that was a beautiful moment. All right, what do you make of the resistance that she faced? Cabrini. I mean, it was every single step, right? What do you make of it?
I saw a lot of people who had power to make change, standing still and doing nothing, but keeping themselves comfortable and in familiarity.
Yeah.
Or actively being a hindrance.
Yeah, like the brick through the window, the fire at literally lighting a hospital on fire. The audacity.
Yeah. Yeah, you either had people who passively stood as obstacles, the Archbishop. Right? He could have done something. He wasn't fighting her, but it's just like, he just, you know, you got the mayor, you got all the other people actively fighting against her. Okay. Which, by the way, if you ever get into this kind of work, if you need it to not have obstacles, you're not going to last long. You will find obstacles, and the obstacles will come from people that you just like, I cannot believe you're the one fighting against me. So when Gino, the pimp, was fighting against her, you're like, well, yeah, I mean, because he's a pimp, you know, right? But the cardinal, the mayor, come on, man, they're trying to get a hospital for your citizens. You know, and that's the way this work goes, by the way. You encounter a lot of resistance. But what'd you make of Cabrini in the face of that resistance? What do you like? Somebody on this side. What do you guys got?
When she continued to just trust in God. And then it didn't matter what the guy says, like, if God has a will, there's a way, there's a means.
Kept trusting God. What else?
I like how she brought up David and Goliath.
Okay. What about that?
Just how, I don't know, just Saul's army stood back and only David had the faith to Doesn't matter who has the faith, it's just size of the faith.
Cabrini was not the first person to see the kids in the sewer. She wasn't. The bishop, that cardinal had seen, he knew the kids were in the sewer. So did the priest. But she was the one that's like the armies of Israel. They're all standing like, wow, hey, the boy, he sure is big and ugly and scary. And then she's like, okay. But then David walks up and is like, all right, so let's do something about this. And that's, by the way, I think that's what the world's looking for, is we're looking for Jesus-loving people to say, all right, let's do something about this. You know, which I don't know if that awoke anything in you guys to watch that movie. I hope it did. I hope it did in a few of you. Like, let's do something about this. That walk that we did yesterday, I don't want to process it yet, but because some of you guys got to do it yet. I'll get you just a second. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm pontificating right now. I'll get you in a second. I hope one of the things you walk away from is like, if you really have a burden in your heart for something, go do something about it. If a God placed it in your heart, go through the process of sussing it out. Now, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, this one. Make sure you're not leaning on understanding. Like, make sure you're following God's will. Like, work this through. Seek out wise counsel. Work this stuff through. But when you know, then let's get after it. Let's do something. Because we can do really cool things. All right, what you got, Grace?
Okay, so another thing with like the challenges she faced, she wasn't broken by those challenges, and every time she met it with everything she had, and even when she did come to times where she did need to just like lay down and take a rest, or she just needed to breathe, she still got right back up and kept fighting on. It was so amazing to see her so relentless, and just, even though her challenges were so much bigger, like Goliath, she met it like she was a Goliath herself.
Yeah, it's good. Something I caught this time. This was like my 6th time watching the movie or something. I've watched it a bunch. I never saw it till this last time. Is every time she encountered resistance, they did something with the camera. There would be a scene where you'd see the back of her head as she's walking away, and then she, like when the resistance came, then there'd be this moment where she would turn around. So like when they took the money from her, they got that not cello, my word, opera singer, who had the really cool hair. Can we all disagree with that? I was looking at Caleb, like, you've got the length. You could pull that off, that look off. You could do that if you wanted.
And that sick outfit, too.
Yeah, right? Man, was he was a
Paint on his face as he's like crying. That was so good.
he was a fine looking man. But like, right? So the city steals all the money. And she's in that like courthouse thing or whatever it was. And she's like, that guy's mouthing off to her. She's walking towards the door, and you just see her turn around and look at him. It's just like, also, she's like, oh no, I'm not walking out this door. I'm going to go fight for these kids. And every single time she came into resistance, I saw it in the movie this time. It was like, you see her turn around. And I'm like, all right, I guess this is the fight I got to fight right now. And I don't know, I just appreciated that about her there. So I want to leave you with this question here. And then I'll get a break so I can get the Zoom stuff sorted out here. But my question is how should the church respond to this? When kids are orphans, when they're living in sewers, when women are being exploited, how should the church respond? Is it enough for God's people to look at them and just simply say, I'm awfully sorry that happened to you? Anyway, on we go. I'll pray for you. Is that enough? Right? Okay. And that'll be the Thursday verse too. This is really going to stand out to you on this one. 1 John 3:1, who somebody referenced on the walk yesterday. I forget who it was, but is it enough? And my argument in this class is it's not. It's not enough to just look at somebody who's cold and wish them well, that they'll be warm. It's enough. Like, we don't have to do everything, but the church should respond to something. And in case you're wondering, I have never encountered a child living in a sewer in our country. I'm not going to say that doesn't happen anywhere. I've not personally seen it or encountered it, but I have personally seen children living in campers behind meth houses with no parents. One of my kids, that's their thing. Like she literally has 0 parents. Or she had no dad, and her mom's in prison. She's 14 years old, all alone, sleeping in a camper with no plumbing, no electricity behind a meth house. And when we start trying to involve the city, the county, the state, with foster care and social services, what we were told repeatedly was, we have nothing for you. She was completely alone. And so don't look at this and say, well, boy, it sure was bad back then. Glad we're not in that area anymore. It's like, no, we still have our equivalent of children in sewers. We still have our equivalent of Vittoria facing the things she faced. Paulo facing the things he faced. We still have it. And so when we see it, how should the church respond? All right, I better stop talking here. So can we take a break and try to be back here like 57? Right in there? We want to be in place and operational before the thing goes. All right. Are we recording? Check. All right. Well, you believe so. All right. Anybody listening online, I do apologize for how little you get from this class. You have what? 2 views. I'm just going to assume those are the two good ones. Like the 2 people that that you'd want being your viewers on this here. So, all right. Hebrew word. I think we went over this a little bit in this prophets class, but I'm just going to assume that we didn't, or assume that you've forgotten some things. It's the word mishpat. Mishpat. Have you ever heard this one? We went over it. All right. Anybody remember what it means?
Justice or judgment.
Okay. It's translated in the Bible, justice. Yep. We gave it a definition here. Well, we won't get into that definition just yet. It's translated. This, you read in the Old Testament, you run across the word justice. I guess I don't know for sure. I didn't fact check this one, but I would be willing to bet if you read justice in the Old Testament, it's the word mishpat. It's used hundreds of times in the Bible. It's a pretty common word that's used there. All right, so when we get to the concept of justice, when you or culture thinks of justice, what comes to mind?
Punishment.
Okay, punishment. All right. Anything else?
I would say vengeance,
Okay, vengeance.
compensation.
Compensation. Making it right. Oh, acting rightly. Acting right. Sure. Yeah. All right. Now here's the next question. Where did we come up with that idea? That that's what justice is? I don't know if we'd be able to answer that out loud. I mean, for most of us, when we think of justice, it's the punitive part of it. We're going to punish. You did a bad deed. We're going to arrest you. You're going to jail. Sort of thing. Like that's the most common thing. That's what the Department of Justice pretty well is in our country. It's police officers and prosecutors and prisons and that sort of thing. It's vengeance. It's punishment. Do you know in the Bible, that's like 10% of it. It's not that punishment isn't there. It is, but that's not really what it is. I'll give you a definition on this one here. This is going to be the working definition we have. Mishpat, it's a justice that sets things right. All right, it's a justice that sets things right. It is something that means far more than laws or court decisions. Here's some of the things it includes. I don't often like using PowerPoint. I should have PowerPoint on this one. It'd be a lot easier to follow along on some of this here. But okay, here's some of the things it includes. It's fairness in legal matters. It's protection of the vulnerable. It's confrontation of oppression. And I'll read these again. And it's restoration of what has been broken. Right? So fairness in legal matters. So like each person standing in court, it's like rich people don't get a better day in court than poor people. White people don't get a better day in court than black people. Right? It's fairness in legal matters. Protection of the vulnerable. Okay, you guys, anybody? The court's head of the vulnerable. It was on the board. Anybody, can you name all 4 groups?
The widow, the orphan, the impoverished,
And the immigrant. There we go. Widow, orphan, the impoverished, and the immigrant. Constantly advocated for in the Bible. And when you talk about mishpat, these 4 groups are in mind. These 4 groups. All 4 of them. There, on that there. So, yeah, Audrey caught it. Anybody else? Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. I have Bible college math, so you got to keep in mind. Sometimes I don't. And if you trust a pastor with numbers, that's another one thing. If you ever ask pastors, like, how many people are coming to this thing? Like, it's going to be a lot, kind of thing. Yeah, they're really good at that. Yeah.
And a question about orphan. A lot of times the translation I use says fatherless. So
Yeah.
how is that different than, like, why doesn't he just use orphan?
Okay, what do you think?
Would that be because, like, the father is the one that provides, so then it's not having a provider?
That's my understanding, and particularly culturally there, women were not, like, the man was needed badly. In that 21st century America's, or world, it's still, men are still definitely needed, but maybe women have more opportunities now than they did then. So if you were without a dad, you lost a lot, to the extent that probably include orphan. But then the other part of it too is that, like, when you, like, these titles, widow, orphan, it's not meant to just be just a specific, like, well, both your parents aren't dead, so you're not an orphan. It's like, okay, what we're really talking about is children who are vulnerable because of an absence in their parenting. So it's like, one of my kids never met her dad. He's not dead, but we still treat her biblically as though she's an orphan because he's not in the picture, kind of a thing. And she may as well be fatherless, may as well be an orphan, kind of a thing there. So, yeah, okay, so fairness in legal matters, protection of the vulnerable. The third is confrontation of oppression. Do you remember this one in the prophets class? Of, like, that's the whooping stick we got out, and just bam. It's you don't stand idly by and watch somebody ravage a vulnerable person. You just don't. You do something about it. And then the restoration of what was broken. That's of what has been broken. That's the fourth category of what mishpat includes. Which then, can somebody think of an example of that? Like restoration of what, like when we're talking mishpat, restoration of what has been broken.
I'm gonna guess.
Give it a guess shot.
About Boaz and Ruth, do you think that that's a good example of restoring back to her what was in her family?
Okay. She started having a stable home again, and her food was no longer a scarcity. She had protection.
It was the practical application of this system that God put in place to keep that justice.
Yeah.
So she didn't lose everything because the justice that God set up was executed.
Yeah, that would be, sure, that'd be a good one. Can you think of other ones?
Wouldn't it be, in the sense of the law, restoring 7 times what you restored?
Yeah, that's something like we our justice system, and I'm not offering commentary on it, like whether it's good or bad, but our justice system is punitive almost exclusively, at least historically. It's like, you stole somebody's car, and it's like, well, you're going to go to jail. That kind of thing. And it's like, okay, well, whether that's right or not, I don't know. But biblically, what it'd be like, okay, you stole their car, you're buying them 7 cars now. Like, that's what you're doing. You're restoring what was taken there. So, at which point then you just start like, leave your car running, the doors unlocked in the, like the Walmart parking lot, like, especially when your car starts running rough. It's like, oh no, please don't steal it,
Room for 7 pickups. I might need to unlock my house too.
Unlock my house.
7 houses.
Yeah.
I just changed at hotels all over Juneau.
Right. Oh, right.
This was a squatter's problem.
Yeah, yeah. But then also in that, a restoration of what has been broken, like, and this is where we start talking like bigger picture justice, capital J justice, is like, okay, say you have somebody break into your home, and they break a bunch of stuff. They do, say, $10,000 worth of damage. All right, so now restoration would be they're going to replace the $10,000 they broke, and then they're going to put more on top of that. But then the other part of mishpat is like something has to happen internally where you are no longer afraid that your house will be broken into. That's a full restoration. Where it's like, because if like they paid you the $10,000 back, it's like, okay, that's cool, but I'm still worried somebody's going to break into my house. And full mishpat would be like, I'm never afraid that anybody's going to break into my house again. You know, kind of thing here. And I think about this like every time I have to log in with a password or something. Are you guys tired of remembering passwords? I'm so sick of remembering passwords. To get that Cabrini movie, I had to change my Amazon password and text my family that uses my Amazon account, like, hey guys, we have a new password. You want to know why we have a new password? It's because we don't live in Mishpat. We live in a world where somebody could hack into my account and, you know, I don't know what they'd get out of it, but they could, you know, charge things to me. And it's like, but if I could live in full Mishpat, I'd have full confidence. I could just like leave my Amazon account, my credit card sitting on a table, and just full confidence that it'd be just fine there. So, okay. All right. Now, when we have this as our definition, okay, when you start looking at what this is a biblical, or this is our idea of what mishpat is, punishment, vengeance, compensation, acting right, versus this, like what changes, let me get this question, what changes when we define mishpat as the justice that sets things right as opposed to just punishment? What changes for us?
Things are set right.
Say it again?
Things are set right instead of like someone did something bad and they went to jail. The person who was wronged gets things restored.
Okay, we're looking to set things right? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so we have different objectives then. Ooh, I like that. What color are we on? We'll go green. We'll go pink. We get a different set of objectives. What else changes? What do you got?
It becomes more of a positive thing than a negative thing,
Okay.
like attitude-wise.
Okay, how so?
It's like the difference in telling someone don't forget or to remember. It's like, just like it adds a negative connotation when you are saying you're being punished for this or no, you're making this right.
Yeah. Yeah. Which to me, I don't know how that feels to you guys. To me, this feels like now that's something I want to aspire to. I honestly, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but if you guys stole my credit card, well, you'd have a fine time at Chipotle for a meal. You know, but like if you stole my credit card and you racked up thousands and thousands of dollars, you know what I'd want to have happen to you? Nothing. I wouldn't care. I mean, I'd want my money back, but like I'm not looking for you. Like I don't. This idea of like sending you to prison, like, oh, it does nothing for me personally. Some people want that, and they're not wrong to necessarily want that, but like for me, it's like, oh, but restoring a sense of security and safety. Now that's a cause I can get behind. Yeah, I don't know. It feels more noble to me, maybe.
I'll take you to Chipotle 7 times.
James, I'd take you up on that. I love Chipotle. All right. What else changes? Think gospel here a little bit. Yeah, what do you got?
I was gonna say, like,
Okay. What-
Compared to you, like, punishing the person, I guess. Yeah,
Why, and how so? Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you give it to God more?
because, like, you're looking, like, less at what, like, the unfairness, I guess, that you got, and how you need to make it, like punish that person for it, and more like, well, how can that person, how we can make this right with, like, them and with God, and, like, I don't know, I guess.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
And God says, vengeance is mine.
Yeah. 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 Can you guys bring the gospel into this one? Think about the gospel and this idea of a justice that sets things right.
Well, it's aimed at the heart, so then it will change the heart.
Okay? Yeah, what do you got?
This could be a reach, but maybe trusting the fact that someone will pay the debt for you. Or like, you suffered an injustice, so someone else is gonna pay it for you.
Okay. Okay. I like where you're going with this. I want to keep running with that. And you don't have to, but we can't. I mean, if you're okay, we got somebody paying the debt for us. Keep going with this. A justice that sets things right. Somebody paid our debt for us.
They'll be taken care of.
We'll be taken care of.
When we start bringing it back to the gospel, I mean, our debt has already been paid, so we don't have to fear that we won't be able to pay it, that we will be provided for what we need.
Yeah, our debt has been paid. So every debt we owe, the sevenfold we owe back, if that, I don't know if that's a perfect translation, but it is covered. That's a pretty cool thought.
And we're paid more than we lost.
Yeah. Well, there's something, isn't it? Not only is our debt paid, but we somehow come out on the high side. That's pretty cool. I'm thinking about, for me at least, where my mind goes to. All right, you guys know my favorite concept in the Bible, right? Shalom. Life as it ought to be. Like what Jesus did through the gospel when he, through his spilled blood, his victorious death, resurrection over death, he set things right. And everything in life that I'm looking for, all of it is met in him. All of it. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you guys are young yet. You're young yet. There's some cool things about being young. One of the things that happens as you age, you may already be there now, but probably most of you aren't. And it's okay that you aren't. It's part of being young. There's probably a lot of you that are still looking at stuff around you to fill you with hope. There's a lot of life that you want to experience yet, and you'd like to. Like some people make that joke, is like, they say money can't buy happiness. I'd sure like to find out. Like, and you're still thinking, like, if I could have that, like, wouldn't it be great if I got that relationship? Wouldn't it be great if I had that family? Wouldn't it be great if I had that income, that bank account, those, whatever it is. And you still are looking for that. What happens over time, for a lot of people, I'm one of them, is you kind of look at life and like, if you drop 10 million into my bank account today, like it still hasn't met any of the fundamental needs of my heart. There's nothing in this world that's gonna like really, really satisfy me. Which, by the way, I wouldn't hate it if you did that. I wouldn't. So if you were thinking about it, I don't want to stand between you and putting the 10 million in my account. I don't. You go right ahead. And James is buying me Chipotle 7 times. You're giving me 10 mil. I wouldn't hate it, but it's just like there's something that happens as you age in that. And I'm to the point now where it's like the only thing left for me is heaven. Like that's the only thing, the deepest parts of my heart. I'm to that place. I can see that now. The only thing left for me is heaven, that place that sets things right. I'm content with where I'm at, but the deeper longings of my heart. And then when I get to this concept of mishpat, and I know that my God is a God of mishpat. He's a God of justice. He's a God who sets things right. I'm looking at the salvation he's providing, thinking like, oh, he's going to provide a really, really good salvation because all of it will be set right. All of it. All of it. You think about that for a moment. Do you ever spend much time thinking about this? What's going to be your favorite part of heaven? That's a pretty cool thing to think about. Should we do it? I bet I've asked this question before. It's one of my favorite. Let's give it. What do you got? What wouldn't be your favorite?
This sounds really crazy, but I wanted to just lie under a tree and just take a perfect
The perfect nap.
A perfect.
Oh, okay.
You want to lie?
That's going on the Book of Delights, man. That's going Book of Delights. The perfect nap. Come on. Tell me that's not the sweetest thing ever. Yeah, and why will you get to take the perfect nap in heaven?
Just be right there, you know? You often feel restless in this place, and it makes it a bit hard. But once you cross the finish line, you know, I know that God will definitely have stuff for us to do up there, right? I know he'll keep us plenty busy, because it's perfect. But I would be so happy not feeling restless anymore.
Yeah. You strike me as a man that's put in some work, too. You know what work is. Yeah, work's a beautiful thing. It's part of paradise. It's a great thing. But, man, to just rest without the perfect nap. Oh, wouldn't that be great? What else? Something else you guys are looking forward to about heaven? Yeah, go for it.
The purity of relationship.
Purity of relationships.
I have a lot of really good friends that I'm very excited to love and be loved and not worry.
Yeah.
Selfishness or like my motives, seeking something for myself from it, but genuinely loving them the way that I want to love them now and know that I can't because we're in a world that is worldly.
Yeah.
And I still have the flesh. But knowing that when I get to heaven, that these people that I love, that I've collected over the years, I will be able to embrace them with complete purity and genuine love.
Yeah. Oh, the relationship's going to be so good there. So good. What do you got, man?
I'm just excited to be with Jesus, like, in person. Like, I don't know. That's it. That's the only comfort for me. You know, the other stuff.
Okay, best guess. And we can only guess. The best guess. What do you think your response is going to be when you see him?
Probably falling down and crying.
Falling down and crying? Worship? That's a pretty good guess. That's Isaiah 6, right? That's Isaiah. Yeah, but that's a really good. What else do you guys think? Best guess. What's that? You going worship? Boy, I bet, yeah. Oh, boy, hard to see us doing anything other than that.
Got a lot of questions.
Do you think you'll have any questions when you stand there, though?
I wonder if I'll just know them all automatically, or if I can have them answer them in person and then know them all automatically. But I've asked him to keep a list for me. Because I always think of, like, there's no way I can have an answer to this here, but I want you to keep a list for me just for when I get there, because I know I won't remember it.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that most of those you won't even care.
Yeah.
That's my guess. That's a guess. Like, they're big deals to us now, but we've all had those things where it's like we'll get like it's just like really worked up over different things, and then 6 months later we don't even care about them anymore because they've been settled somehow, or something else has just happened in life that just made us forget about them. Anyway, so questions. All right, what do you got?
There are some questions that just need to be answered, like why does a platypus look the way it does?
I think that was a disproof of Darwinism. Put this together.
The platypus.
Probably half his list.
How about on this? Okay, well, I guess Rochelle already led on this side here. What do you guys got? Something you're looking forward to in heaven?
I think I'll look like right away say just like what Nathan said, but I also think the food's gonna be pretty great.
Food's gonna be so good, so good.
No allergies?
Do
Woo!
basic things with God, you know?
What's that?
Can't wait to just do the like basic things.
Basic things.
Just the like little pleasures, like playing guitar or kicking a soccer ball, like with Jesus.
It's just basic things with God. Yeah. You know how that happens? What? Yeah.
No more brain fog or disorganized thoughts. That'd be great.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've never had that happen here. Never happened here. You know, that's just, yeah. All these things we just described, you know how they happen? Mishpat. A justice that sets things right. You get the perfect nap. You eat the greatest meal ever. You you just get a chance to worship him. You get just a chance to like be in his presence. Relationships heal, like all that, whatever else, I forget everything else was shared, but it happens because there is a person who brought about mishpat, a justice that set everything right here, right? I mean, this, and you know, like, he does it because he's powerful. He does it because he's able to, because of his power, his ingenuity, his holiness. He does it because of what his son did on the cross for us, what he did in the grave. Like, anyway, it brings about mishpat there. All right, now, let's start opening the Bible together with this definition of mishpat in our mind. This picture of him here. Okay. We got, Deuteronomy 10. Here, I tell you what. What do we got tables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 4 verses. All right. Somebody from this table take Deuteronomy 10. Somebody from that back table take Psalm 146. Or you all can turn there. Just one of you has to read it out loud. Take Psalm 146. Somebody from this crew take Jeremiah 22. And then this side, you're going Deuteronomy 27. Jeremiah 22. Oh, no. You're just going to read one verse. It'll be 22:3 when we get there. We're going to start Deuteronomy 10:18. All right, so what we're going to do with this, we're going to talk about mishpat, the different groups. Look at this. See this? Jeff learned something. I'm not knocking over music stands. Yeah, and you guys said I couldn't learn anything. No, you never said that. You never said that.
I can read my brain, I thought it.
Okay. I was thinking it. I didn't say it out loud. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to be looking for, we're going to be looking about who is mishpat for in the Bible, because actually the Bible takes the time to identify specific groups of people that we definitely want this for. All right. You got Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 18.
He executes justice for the orphan and the widow, and shows his love for the alien by giving him food and clothing.
Okay, who do we got? Okay, hang on. This is weird while I'm writing while I'm taking a sweater off at the same time.
Just feels good.
Okay, so who are, you know, what would be great is a snow cone, fresh fallen from the sky. That's the freshest snow cone you could. The only way you could have had it fresh is if you'd have just stood out there for a half hour till your cup filled up. Yeah. There you go. All right. Okay, who was the? Okay, you saw the word justice, right? The word that justice is mishpat. Who was the justice for specifically? The widow, the orphan, and the alien. And this is a reference to like the Area 51, green-headed, those aliens. Have you seen the movie Alien versus Predator? Like that, that's what this is. No. Okay, you guys know who the aliens are?
It's people who aren't of that land.
And not of that land. Yeah, immigrants. Right there. Okay. All right, and it says that God, and what happens, how does the mishpat come about? According to Deuteronomy 10:18.
He shows his love for the alien by giving him food and clothing.
Okay. So, and who's the he?
God.
God shows it. And he does it by feeding them? Food and clothes? Okay. Which, as it turns out, both of those are pretty nice to have. Okay. All right. Whatever verse I gave you that table. What did I give you?
Oh, you said Psalm 146.
Yeah, 7 through 9. Psalm 146, 7 through 9. Somebody from that table read for us.
I got it. Who does justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry? Yahweh sets the prisoners free. Yahweh opens the eyes of the blind. Yahweh raises up those who are bowed down. Yahweh lifts the righteous. Yahweh keeps the sojourner. He helps up the orphan and the widow, but he bends the way of the wicked.
Okay, so who we got justice for in this passage? There was a big list.
Sojourners,
Okay, sojourners, which is another name for? Foreigners, which is another name for? There we go. Okay. Sojourners, who else?
The oppressed.
The oppressed.
widow,
Widows. The hungry. Prisoners. Okay, let's talk about that just for a minute. You know, in our country, when somebody's a prisoner, you know what we do with them? We shame them. Again and again and again and again. In the Bible, it's just like, hey, what if we brought mishpat to them too? It's, I don't know, that's another thing. But okay, prisoners. Where do we go next?
fatherless,
Fatherless, okay.
The blind.
Which I think an argument could be made in this too, by like people dealing with medical disadvantages. I mean, it specifically says blind, but I don't think it's a stretch to get to other people who are dealing with other types of developmental disabilities and injuries that have come about, those sorts of things there that put them in a vulnerable state. Blind, do we have more? Or is that the list?
Did I hear someone say the righteous also?
He did say something about the righteous. Yeah, he does bring mishpat for the righteous. There you go.
Righteous is included in that because it's not necessarily something bad happening to them.
Yeah.
And it, like, the way their adjective with it is just that they're loved, not that they need picked up or anything.
Yeah. All right. And who brings about the mishpat in that text? Okay. And what does he do? Or does it say? I need to look at it again. Psalm 146.
The Lord protects the stranger, supports the fatherless, works for the other,
Psalm 146.
pursues justice.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. It's a long list here, right? Like, is that what the hesitation was? He brings mishpat for the exploited. I've got the HCSB here, which I heard my favorite. It's Holman Christian Standard Bible, but it's pretty commonly used by Southern Baptists. And because I think it was translated by Southern Baptists, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody called it the Hardcore Southern Baptist Bible. Anyway, I thought that was funny. It's a fine translation. But what does he do with the hungry? He gives them food. What does he do with prisoners? He sets them free. What does he do with the blind? He opens their eyes. What does he do with those who are oppressed? He raises them up. Right? The righteous he loves. What does he do with the foreigners? He protects them. Yeah, he protects them there. All right. What does he do with the fatherless and the widow? He helps them. All right. But then the wicked, he frustrates their ways. So basically, whatever their need was, he meets the need that naturally fits what they're facing. Great. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Jeremiah 22:3.
Thus says the Lord, do justice and righteousness and deliver the one who has been robbed from the power of his oppressor. Also, do not mistreat or do violence to the stranger, the orphan, or the widow, and do not shed innocent blood in this place.
Okay. Who do we got this mishpat's being done for? Stranger, which is also a reference to immigrants. Sensing a theme here. All right, the stranger, who else?
This is Jeremiah 22:3.
Yes.
Fatherless,
Fatherless, we got that again.
widow,
Again. Something about, what else we got? Keep going. Were there others?
There's the wronged.
The wronged.
Kind of a blanket statement.
Yes. There will be people when you're serving others. There will be people who maybe they don't necessarily fit into one of the 4 categories, but they've still been wronged, and God wants justice for them, mishpat for them. Does that cover them, or is there another?
Innocent.
The innocent. Okay. Now, does it say who brings about the justice for them, or at least who should be?
well, it says, thus says the Lord.
Okay.
Do what is right, which is a you statement.
So God's role in this is God calls for it. Right? Okay? One more passage. The Deuteronomy 27:19 one. This is which way's north? I have no idea which way north is here. We're just in it. We just exist in the. Which way? That way?
They say north, they're talking about us.
Okay. So you're the west side. You guys could do one of these. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Throw up some gang symbols. That's what we're after at Bible school.
Cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, fatherless, and the widow, and all the people shall say amen.
Okay. All right. All right. So who is this for?
Stranger,
Okay. Stranger. I'm sensing a theme. Widow. We're back here again. Were there others? 27:19. Okay. Now, what was God's role in this?
He cursed the people who interfere with justice.
God curses those who interfere. Okay. He curses those who interfere. So you start looking at this now. I mean, you see the groups of people. It's repeated. I've only pulled 4 verses out for us here. This is every section of the Bible. The books of the law, it's present. The books of history, it's present. The books of poetry, it's present. The books of prophecy, it's present. The Gospels, it's present. The books of the New Testament, it's present. This concept shows up again and again and again and again and again and again and again. That this is in the heart of God. That we want goodness, we want mishpat, a justice that sets things right. And these people are being singled out as people that we should be absolutely concerned about. Right? Widows, that showed up 4 times. I repeated it. The widows, many times it's mentioned. Orphans are mentioned, fatherless. We hit that one twice just in those 4 verses. The most common of those, I didn't do this on purpose, but right, the most common of those that we came across was immigrants here on this here. And like the rest of these groups that we have here, God's saying, this is what it means to be my people. This is what it is to structure a society according to my ways. These people, you take time to care about how they're doing. And you make sure that things are set right for them. All right, what do you make of this God? He shows justice, he does justice, he calls for justice, and he curses anyone that interferes with it. What do you think of that God?
Mishpat, right?
Mishpat. I feel like we should throw something on the ground and we mishpat. Yeah. What do you think of that God? Okay, you see the compassion of God? Yeah, that's pretty easy to see there, isn't it? Sounds pretty just. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Humility. He's not too prideful to care about those people that are other people would define as lesser.
Hmm.
He's very, the pride does not get in the way.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Does he sound like somebody? For me, I look at that. He sounds like somebody I'd trust. That's like when I look at that character. Because if any of these things weren't true, like if you could see, like if somebody that was in your world was hungry, and you had food and you didn't share it with them, I'm not looking at you solve world hunger. I'm just talking about, you got a friend, and they got no food, and you just threw away half a plate of dinner, and like you have no, I just like, what? Come on, man. Well, okay, you're going to meet this guy. We're doing Zoom calls 3 days this week, by the way. Grace Collective, they're going to be the big, they've got kind of the big ministry. The one that's going to be on Thursday is my buddy Kevin. He serves the homeless in Seattle. And I went out with him, and we've gone to these homeless encampments and just walking around, and we were handing out, what did we have? We had peanut butter sandwiches that day with no hot chocolate. No, actually, we had hot chocolate, but we didn't mix it. That was a mistake, but we were handing out peanut butter sandwiches and blankets, and one of the guys comes up, and he had these pants that were like sagging down to here, but not because of a style, because he was just dirty. He obviously hadn't nothing been laundered in forever, and he was wearing, his belt was he'd taken a lamp cord and cut it, and that was his belt. Just kind of tied it up, but it was barely holding his pants up. They were way too big for him. And Kevin just goes up like, hey, here, we got some food for you. Can we help you out with anything else? He's like, oh, man, I would love a belt. I'm tired of my pants being down around my knees. And Kevin doesn't even flinch. He just just unbuckles his belt, takes it off, and hands it to the guy. And when we got back in the van, one of the kids that was with us, like, Kevin, you just gave him your belt? He's like, why wouldn't I? I've got 2 more at home. It's like when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I respect that. I respect that kind of person here. The kind of thing. Like, anyway, I respect it. So you take the opposite of that. Would you even respect it? Okay, how about this one right here? God curses those who interfere. What do you make of that?
He fights for them.
He's what?
He fights for his, the people he watches out for. It's not just helping them, it's also fighting for them.
He fights for the defenseless.
He fights for the defenseless, yeah.
I feel like if he didn't, half the question is justice.
Yeah.
Stuff that happens. You go on chat.
Yep.
It reminds me of the bishop in the movie, standing by and not doing anything is a form of interference. If you can do something and you're choosing to stand in the way, just stand. You don't have to do anything. Just standing. That is still being in the way.
Yeah. What was that? Cabrini went some places. I'm like, I would never say that. I think it's cool she did, but I wouldn't say it. The whole, when she was kind of shouting at the mayor, or who was it, the mayor? He was like, you keep doing this, God will curse you, or whatever, just see the judgment of God upon them. Yeah. Oh, is it one of the senators? Yeah.
It makes me think of yesterday looking at the 10 Commandments and the "you shall not murder." Isn't just murder. It's it can also mean from neglect.
Ooh.
So it's there's more to killing someone than an active action. It can also be he didn't help them.
He didn't help him. And so now you start going through here and you start looking at, I don't want to do burpees, so I'm not going to talk politics.
I already had that thought.
But you start rolling through this and just look at any society. There we go. We'll just keep it broad. Look at any society that you might want to look at and see how they respond to these different groups of people. Like, just know this, anybody that stands in the way of these people, any of these people, getting a justice that sets things right, God curses them and their actions. He curses it. He hates it here. And this is part of why. No, anyway, no. I'm gonna have to do burpees. I'm gonna stop. Here. So,
I had a thought.
yeah.
I was thinking how in each of these passages, the fatherless and widows are both connected. Like, it's always fatherless and widows. Like, even the list where they each have their own specific defense.
Okay. Well, in each passage, they both came up like that?
Yeah, in each of the 4 passages, they're all tied together.
Okay. It's pretty common. I mean, that's James 1:27. He does that too. Pure and undefiled religion is this: take care of the widow and orphan in their distress. Yeah. Yeah, they do lump them together pretty commonly, don't they? Okay. Oh, here's another one for you. This is a great thought. Mishpat is not neutral. It takes sides. We as Christians are to be the most peaceful people in the world. But we're also supposed to be the ones who fight. Peace is not always an absence of standing up. Sometimes peace requires you to stand up. And mishpat is just, it's not neutral. It takes the side, and the side that it takes is the side of the powerless, the side of the vulnerable. This is what it does. And that's good. You guys remember this when we got into the prophets. Like, this is why the prophets were so angry. Right? Like, they just kept exploiting people. They took advantage of the poor. They took advantage of widows. They did horrible things to children. And a just person doesn't just like, oh, you're beating the snot out of a woman? Like, well, that makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to slide over here. It's like, well, I didn't want to do this, but all right, here we go. You know, kind of thing. Kind of thing. That's just what mishpat does. That's what justice does. You hear? All right. Okay. How you guys doing on endurance right now? Is the day getting long? Your brain's still here?
Yes.
Your brains are still here. Would 5 burpees wake you up and help you?
Yeah!
I might get a bloody nose trying to make one of those.
James, I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to see that.
Everybody else should do them.
Everybody else should do. What would wake me up is everybody else do 5 burpees there. Okay. All right. Let's roll into the New Testament. Matthew 25. Matthew 25. One of the things I hope you see in this, I already did this. One of the things I hope you see by the end of the week is that this concept of fighting for the vulnerable is not one obscure passage in the book of Leviticus. I want you to see it's throughout the Bible. It's not like the most important theme of the Bible. The most important themes of the Bible, we bring it back to love, we bring it back to salvation, we bring it back to the glory and holiness of our God. Those are the key themes of Scripture. But in those key themes is woven this idea of defending the widow and orphan in their distress and caring for them there. It's just there again and again. So here we're going to take a passage that's in the Gospels. There's this guy, I'm not sure if you've heard of him or not. He was a carpenter, lived in Nazareth for a while. He was pretty cool at some things. He could walk on water. That was one of his things he could do, turn water into wine, that kind of thing. I don't know what he would have done with snow. He might have made a snow cone. He probably would have made a snow cone there. But Matthew 25, we're going to work through this together, starting in verse 31. I want you to look here. Here's what we're looking for. I want you to look at how closely God identifies with the vulnerable. Oh, that was one of the other reasons I chose the passage I chose there. It wasn't just I wanted you to see like commands to care for the widow, orphan in their distress. I wanted you to see what God does this. God calls for this. God initiates this, because it's not just like, hey, y'all need to do this. It's like, no, God himself is engaged in this work. That's the other part of it. But, all right, Matthew 25, let's start reading verse 31. Can we read the rest of the passage, those 16 verses out loud? And, yeah.
We just want to read one verse and go.
Ooh. Do we got that many people? Let's do it. Let's do it. I love your idea, Rochelle. All right. You want to lead? All right. We'll work our way. And that'll go from Hagen to Daniel and Cohen to Nathan. Work our way around that way. All right.
But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne.
And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats.
And he will place the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left.
And the king will say to those on the right, Come you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in.
I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me.
Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink?
And when did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or naked and clothe you?
Go.
Unless Jacob read it.
Well, I'm trying to find the spot.
I think it's,
You have verse 39, Jacob.
like 39. 25, 39.
So verse 40.
No, you read verse 39.
Oh. When did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?
And the king will answer them, Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these, my brother, you did it to me. Then he will also say to those on his left, Depart from me, you accursed people, into the eternal fire, which has been prepared for the devil and his angels.
For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink.
I was a stranger, and you did not take me in, naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me.
Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee in hunger, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee?
Then he will answer them, saying, Truly I say to you, as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me.
Then they will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life.
All right. There we go. We stop there.
One verse short.
We're one verse short.
You can read the title.
Do you want to read it? We could write another verse real quick, right? Yeah. No heresy. All right. Well, we'll save the heresy for a different day then. It is Tuesday. You don't do heresy on Tuesdays. That's a pretty well-known fact. Yeah. Thursdays, though. Oh, man. Oh, man. Anyway, okay. First impressions from this passage. What stands out to you?
His heart's still the same as even in the Old Testament.
Ooh. His heart's still the same. That's good. What were you saying about brain fog earlier? Yeah, there we go.
I guess how great a thing it is to care for the vulnerable because of how closely he identifies with it.
How great this work is. Because of why?
Because of how closely God identifies with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say again, the humility that he brings, he makes them equal with himself.
Makes them equal with himself.
Because we cannot lower God, right? We can't say Jesus is less, which means we have to say they are just as important.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's interesting how important it is to God and how it's such a defining factor for his people in heaven.
Yeah. It's so important to him. And I like that qualifier to him. It's not just us saying it's so important. It's like it's so important. Like he's saying this is important to me. What was the next thing he said? So important to him. What was the other part?
How it's such a defining factor.
Oh, it's a defining factor of his followers, right? Isn't that what he said? Factor. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think you can be saved and not help the widow and poor?
Who is? I was wondering if anybody get there. What do you think?
Thief on the cross?
I'd say.
I got my answer for it. Let's look. I want to see Cohen wrestle this one.
I don't know, I think like, I mean, Jesus says whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved, and like the thief on the cross, like Riley's saying, he didn't do anything, but Jesus also says like, you'll be known by your fruit, like, and how we love each other.
It's not works-based.
I think you'd still be saved, but I don't think it's it's not works-based. I don't know.
I'll give you my take on it. And if you guys got a different take on it, I'm done. Give my take. I'll give my take on it. Here's my take on it. First of all, I think what Jesus did on the cross is enough for every sin that's ever been committed. None of us have the capacity to commit a sin that is greater than the kind of mercy and holiness that God can provide. There, that's my thing. So if somebody does this, they can't do that. Over my understanding, like as I read it, what he was telling them is like, hey, there is condemnation. There is eternal condemnation. There's different reasons why people experience it. Just so you know, if you don't do this, this is a reason that eternal condemnation exists. For the context of this conversation, he singles that thing out. If we were talking about a different type of sin, I think we could single out other types of sin that were the reason for condemnation. But he's like, this is a big deal. I'm reading it as him saying, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, one that warrants eternal consequences to what's taking place. But Jesus' blood is enough. Yeah.
So my take on it is actually a very similar thing, because I heard a pastor at Clover Pass Church go over baptism, right? Because are you saved if you don't get baptized? And it's one of those things that this is not what saves you, works don't, but you really desire to, right? A saved person desires to go about and do these things, right? And they'll happen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So I would say, like he says, not a salvation issue, but you're definitely not pleasing God when you are actively ignoring those groups, especially if God is putting them in your path and he wants you to see them and come to their aid. I would think if you are actively ignoring his will, then you are putting yourself in the direct path of his wrath.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. If you were to just read, now you don't ever do this with Bible because you take every passage in the context of the greater story of Scripture. But if you were to just read this passage, what would you conclude that God values? What's that?
Perfection in how you treat others.
Okay. Perfection. Sure. Okay. I can see that. That you love one another.
To humble ourselves.
Be humble. He loves humility. Where are we going to go, Grace?
What came to my mind is that the way that he wants to be blessed, the best way to bless God is to take care of his needy.
Yeah. I would also conclude he values the people that other people don't. He sees the people that other people either can't see or choose to not see. He hears the people that other people either can't hear or choose to not hear. Like he doesn't miss anything. That comes out to me a little bit in that there. Okay, here's one for you. Oh yeah, what you got?
If we were to take that statement as a standalone, what we would take from it, without having to read any of the rest of the Bible, is that he values people who cannot take care of themselves.
Yeah, boy, he sure does. Which is funny. Like, you know what you do when you see somebody who looks and smells homeless on the street, right? You turn and walk away. That's not what you should do, but I mean, It's like, ooh, this makes me uncomfortable. And you walk away. Now, it's one thing if you feel unsafe. That's, you need to be smart with safety here. So the first time we ever did this, where we went down to the homeless encampments, I was leading this group of students that I'm trying to train to do this kind of ministry. I'm not going to lie, I thought it was a terrible idea. I really did. I'm like, we're going to go into downtown Seattle. Any of y'all been down to downtown Seattle, seen the homeless encampments? You've been there? You've been there? It's not a welcoming place. It's not an inviting. It's like, well, I should bring a family here for vacation someday. It's scary. And not only were we going there, we were going at night. And I'm thinking, like, here I am. I've got 9 college students. 6 of them are girls. This is a stupid thing that I'm doing. But I was going with this group called UGM, and they're like, but they know what they're doing. So I was just hoping that they kind of knew what they were up to. But I thought it was a terrible idea because I thought it'd be really scary. We get there. It took me 5 minutes into the first stop to just like all of a sudden realize what we were actually doing. We just got out, started handing out food and clothes and stuff, and just going up and meeting people. And the thing was, what I told the kids, what I wanted to do is I want you to go up, I want you to shake them by the hand, ask them their name, look them in the eye. That's what we have to do at every stop, every person. And you know what turns out they are? Turns out they're humans just like us. They're very normal people. Very normal people. And if I were to just grab them and, if you were to some of them don't have access to bathing and laundry, so they look kind of homeless. But if we gave them a shower and a clean set of clothes and we dropped them in a restaurant, you'd have no idea. We brought them in this room, sat down, joined us for dinner, you'd have no idea. They're just like us. There's absolutely no difference between us and them. There just isn't. There. And I just, where was it going? Oh, the whole, we see people that are like that. We turn and walk away. And Jesus, I see somebody like that, I turn and move towards them. That's who moved towards these people, not away from them. There, so. Okay, here's one for you. Have you guys ever had, I know you have, pretty well everybody has this. You have somebody in your life that means something to you, so much to you, that when somebody did something to them, you may have even been angrier about it than the person, like your friend or your sister or your brother, whoever, your mom, whoever it was done to, right? Yeah. Or have you ever had somebody do something really kind for that person that you love dearly, and it, you didn't, the bad thing, you didn't say that to me, but you may as well have said it to me. Or that great thing you did for this person I love, you didn't give that to me, but you may as well have given it to me because I love them so deeply. My heart is so connected to theirs. Right? You guys pick that up, Matthew 25, that Jesus is saying, all those people right here, our list, that orphan, man, I loved the way you brought them in and loved them. So much that you brought me into your home and loved me. That widow that you went over and Cohen, you were talking about this. You guys go rake leaves. It was you, right? Yeah, you went rake leaves for a widow or some elderly person. If we had Jesus in that moment, Jesus would have been like, Cohen and whatever friends he had with you. Oh man, you raked leaves for me today. It was. I know it's for her, but it was for me. That's how closely I identify with it there. And different things you guys have shared that you've been a part of doing. We take care of that kid who's foster care. You did it for me. That's how closely Jesus identifies with all this and all these people here. What do you think? Have we plumbed that one pretty good? Is there more to draw out of it? Oh, wait, look at the time. Wow, poof, there we are. Can I give you a couple more lines here? We'll wrap things up pretty quick. But mishpat is not something God does. It is something God is like. God is justice. That's why it flows out of him. It's pretty cool. The same way God is love. And it's just that God is fundamentally just. That is just the nature of who he is. And this matters deeply for ministry. When we pursue mishpat, when we pursue this, a justice that sets things right, we are reflecting the nature of our God and the work that we do. And it's part of like, have you been around this, like, when you do this work, I don't know, man, I don't when you do this work, when I am sitting with some of the people that I care for, I was just thinking of this one person. Anyway, when I'm sitting with the people that I work with, and like these people that I love, and I'm walking through the misery with them, I don't know how to describe it other than to just say, I feel like I'm experiencing the divine. I feel like something sacred's going on in that moment. And I think part of why that is because God's nature is mishpat. He's the one that sets things right. And when I'm a part of that, I see the divine. I experience the divine because it is divine. He's divine. The mishpat's divine. It's his nature that I'm seeing on display here. But anyway. Well, I had some case scenarios to go over today, but we're not going to get to them. We'll get to them tomorrow. It's a great thing about being here all week. Yeah, so, homework. If you guys didn't sign up for a walk yet, we're doing a couple of them today. I got 2 signed up. 1:15, 2:15. Come for one of those walks. Otherwise, we were going to do the movie tonight, too. Here, I was going to do another movie. Okay, you got Bonhoeffer. He was a German pastor. That one. And you got the letters, which is about Mother Teresa, who had a ministry similar to Mother Cabrini's. What do you guys want tonight? I'll do one or the other tonight. Bonhoeffer? Bonhoeffer. All right. You will not be disappointed by Bonhoeffer. And then we'll shoot for the letters Thursday night, but I know that a bunch of you guys got things going on Thursday night. And I asked you for 2 movies, so we'll call that good. So Bonhoeffer tonight.
What's going on Thursday?
I don't know. Somebody said things. Oh, it's Heresy Thursday. That's right. Yeah. So, all right. Can I close this in prayer? Let's pray. All right. Hey, God, we've been reading about you today. We've been hearing stories about you. You are a God of mishpat. You are a God who sets things right. And what a great truth that is for us, because we're people who are looking for a world that is right, knowing that ultimately that world's going to exist on the other side. But we know that we're going to get there because you're our God and you're our Savior. The work you've done is perfect, is complete. When you said it is finished, you meant it. It is finished. This is a certainty, and we can't wait to get there. In the meantime, while we're there, or while we're here, would you help us to be agents of mishpat? Would you help us be people who bring about a justice that sets things right? And we pray for Grace Collective. Thanks for letting them share their stories with us today. Would you just bless their work today and bless Satara for the things she shared? We praise in your name. Amen.